Make a Path presents Let's Talk. Welcome back to Make a Path Presents. My name is Ronnie Hayes, and today, let's talk. Where are the bodies? Alright, Deadheads, you guys already read issue 144's cliffhanger, and I have a question, and I think that the answer to this question is going to play a very big part in us not only understanding how they were killed, kind of how it happened, to give us a better idea, but also I think it's going to play a big part in the story, and it has to do with the bodies. I believe that Rick, Michonne, Andrea, and Dante, Carl, Lydia, on the way back should most likely or will most likely come across the bodies of Rosita, Ezekiel, everyone that was killed. I personally am, believing when I read it, I assume that Alpha had people either right outside the fair or in the fair with her, whispers, you know what I mean? Kind of off-screen type thing. I believe that issue 145 is going to bring us a lot of mourning, shock, some more fear. We saw the heads on the spikes, but imagine, that shit's not over. There's still bodies. Now you gotta do something with the bodies. You gotta gather the bodies. You gotta have a funeral. Not only that, but do you go to the boundary, which clearly that in itself would be an act of war, getting the heads of the loved ones off. And then who's gonna do that? You know what I mean? That's a fucked up thing to think about. Who's gonna collect the heads? You can't collect the heads because it's gonna start a war. But how do you bury them? Because we know our survivors love burying their own. They don't just leave them out to rot. They don't burn them. And some of them look like they were walkers. I don't know how far the spikes were, with all of them. If the spikes were just, in their neck, mouth area, up to the sinuses, and they didn't puncture the brain, then obviously they're still walkers. So, they're going to want to put their loved ones out of their misery. So what I'm getting at with finding the bodies and dealing with the heads and the funeral, this is going to be chaos. It's going to be a lot of chaos. Back in Negan's time, it was easy for Rick to say, or easier, I should say, for Rick to do secret missions and tell everyone to just trust him. But now it's a time of peace. Now we have different leaders and everyone's getting along. And now there's, different people. I say different, but now everyone's involved. You know what I mean? So not everyone's going to sit back and say, oh, Rick, no, we're not going to, take our time and get shit ready. We're going to go and attack now. So I think that the next few issues are going to have a lot of chaos. There's still going to be more shock, still more brutality. There might even be more victims than we saw. And if there's not more victims, we're still going to deal with the bodies of the old victims. And the bodies, I think that's a key thing that people are forgetting about. The bodies are there. The crime scene is there. It should give us an idea of how this went down. And I feel like the bodies will be in issue 145. And they're going to call a meeting with the residents. They got to tell them what's going on. And everyone at the fair, everyone's already there. And they have to tell them what happened with the Whisperers because all their loved ones are gone. Everyone's looking for somebody, out of the victims that were killed, obviously. Now, I think there's going to be overwhelming grief with the shit that's going on and telling the people. Imagine having to come back and tell all these people. Imagine having to come back, tell Eugene, tell Tammy's parents, and they already had problems with Maggie back at the hilltop. It's a mess. Just think of all the different people from different communities that are in for one hell of a shock. There's going to be tons of anger, grief, rage. And to be honest, I can't see the saviors not wanting blood for blood. From what I saw, there were two saviors that were killed. Well, one was kind of a savior before, and then he went to the hilltop. But the other one was Amber. Those are saviors people. I can't see the saviors not wanting blood for blood. And if they do, is this the time for Negan to come out of the prison jail cell and get the saviors to just fall back a little bit and not start this war? Now, me personally, I still believe that, everyone wants Negan in prison at this time, but fear does a powerful thing to people, If you're afraid of the boogeyman in the woods, bring the boogeyman from the basement, up to fight that boogeyman. But again, you guys know me, Negan's not a superhero. Negan can't come out of the basement, out of the jail cell, get Lucille, and go kill thousands of walkers and hundreds of Whisperers. It's not going to happen. He's not a superhero. But I do feel like he is going to play some sort of part in this. I think that's pretty obvious. I don't think he's going to sit in a jail cell cell the entire time that they are going to war. I got comic videos coming back to back, so we're going to end this here and get right into the next topic. But leave your opinions about the bodies, the pain, the suffering, the anger, the grief, all the different communities, and all the different opinions that are going to happen. What are they going to do? What in the hell do you do? They can't control all the communities. It's going to be hard to get everyone on the same page. It's going to be hard dealing with all that tragedy. Let me know down in the comments below if you think the whole bodies, heads, all the victims, all the communities, if you think that's just going to be overwhelming chaos, or if you think that the survivors can get a handle of it and they can attack the Whispers, or do you think that the survivors might fall apart them damn selves before they even attack the Whispers? Put your opinions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.